welcome back to the channel, and today I want to talk to you about my 2024 reading plans to let you know what's going to possibly be on the channel coming forwards. So I will be reducing the amount of books I read this year slightly because by working out roughly what I'll be reading, I've noticed that my average book length will be over 550 pages, which is like 100 pages more per book than last year. So some concessions will have to be made. But basically I'm going to break this down today into series I will be continuing, new series I'll be picking up, and a few kind of like standalones or things I'm throwing in as well. So I will be continuing to read from several series that I currently am covering. One is The Wheel of Time. This is The Fires of Heaven, which is book 5. This will be fairly soon up on the list. I won't be forgetting crime either. Poirot. I've got The Murder of Roger Ackroyd up next, so I think that's like Poirot book 4. So yeah, back to Poirot, back to some crime. Sticking with some smaller paperbacks, Discworld will continue. Weird Sisters now. So I thought, you know what, I've read Guards, I've read a couple of the Death books. Let's get down to the Witches. It's one of the kind of sub-genres of Discworld that I haven't tackled yet. I've heard this is very well worth reading. Also, a little bit of horror. I'll be continuing with H.P. Lovecraft in the mountains. At the Mountains of Madness will be the next one from H.P. Lovecraft for me in the coming year. Also, my Dark Tower extended read through will continue. I think the next up is like The Drawing of Three, but after that I've got Eyes of the Dragon and probably The Talisman as well, as I try to really draw in all of those Dark Tower influences that Stephen King has. After that will be Sherlock Holmes. These, in fact, it won't be after that because these are not in an order. But Sherlock Holmes, I will definitely get back to Sherlock Holmes. I believe it's The Hound of the Baskervilles this year. So I might leave that towards spooky season because it will be hopefully a more atmospheric read for me. Talking about holding up giant omnibuses, we might as well hold up the Conan one again. I'm going back to Conan again. I think it's Tower of the Elephant is next up for me in my Conan read through. I'm trying to get to all of the kind of main Conan works in publication order, I believe, if I remember rightly. We won't forget about our military stuff either. I'm going back to Sharp. I'm going to try and hit the naval battles this time. So we've got Sharp's Trafalgar and Sharp's Prey will be coming up on the channel this year. I've been really struggling to find a place for Tom Clancy. I enjoyed the book I read the year before last, because it's been that long now, which was Rainbow Six. I enjoyed it immensely and I wanted to go and read more Clancy immediately, but how to read it? I had to find a reading order, so I'm going to decide to go back from the start. I'll work my way through in chronological order with these. No, I will not be reading Soulful Fears. This is not the next book in the reading order. I will hold it up though because I will be going back to Clancy. It is going to be No Remorse will be next up from Tom Clancy, not The Sum of All Fears. Don't let me confuse you. One thing that I announced recently was my 50 before 50 project. 50 books I would like to sprinkle into my TBR, so make sure they've all been read before I turn 50. A few of these I've picked out. These won't be all of the ones that I add in. I'll probably add a little bit more sci-fi short stories in as well, but I'll be reading A Clockwork Orange by Anthony Burgess, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep by Philip K. Dick. I should be getting to Big Sleep by Raymond Chandler, and Power and Thrones by Dan Jones. Those are a small selection of the books I hope to sprinkle in as standalones throughout the year, kind of palette cleansers, stuff I can get to in between the big series. Talking about big series, I've put this off long enough already, so it's time to go to Malazan, Book of the Fallen. Malazan is a epic fantasy series that I've been putting off reading for a while, mostly because I had already started too many series. And also I was looking for a buddy read at the time that never came off, but it's time for me to get going. I'm going to read this over a space of 2 years. I'm going to read 5 books this year and 5 books next, so hopefully all 5 of these books I will read in 2024. And then at the end of this next year I will add a couple of other series. Once I've knocked a few more Realm of the Elderlings books off, a few more Wheel of Time books off, I will step up and add a couple more series. The first of these, another fantasy series. So this is the Stormlight Archive by Brandon Sanderson. I've read Mistborn in the Cosmere, and now I would like to go to Way of Kings. So I'll probably insert Way of Kings in maybe November, and then hope to pick up a new book in the Stormlight Archive every couple of months. I know these are still being released, so I'm not too far behind by the time I start picking these up. Another series I'll probably add, if I can get a lot of my crime reading done, is I would like to get and insert some Bosch books by Michael Connolly. I hope to pick some of those up over the holidays, so hopefully I can add some Bosch to my life next year as well. And then finally, right at the end of the year, I hope to start the Red Rising saga. Red Rising is the first book. These are in a terrible order, they've been bundled up here, but I'm hoping to start this series as well next year, and that'd be all of the bigger series I'm adding to the list this year. So that's Bosch, Red Rising, Stormlight Archive, and Malazan, Book of the Fallen. So those, with all of the, I think 12 or 14 series I'm already reading, and all my 50 before 50 books, should comprise roughly a skeleton of a TBR of about 35 to 40 books to begin with, and then I will hopefully get to a few new releases as they come out as well. Let me know, what's your 2024 look like? Are you having to adjust your TBR like I am? You know, have you got nothing but Mammoths to look forward to, or are you going to focus on those shorter, sweeter reads this year? Just let me know in the comments down below.